Armed forces are made up of land, sea and air forces. Naval forces are established for protection against threat coming from sea, so who are the strongest naval forces in the world? Welcome again guys to Russellmania PH channel. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are new to my channel and click the notification bell for latest news, issues and amazing videos. Let's get it on guide. Number 5. Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force current active inventory, 102 fleet units as a result of continuing effective defense investment due to Japan's economic development and an end to the Cold War. The JMSDF became the world's fourth largest navy by total tonnage by 2021. Japan has the eighth largest exclusive economic zone, EEZ, in the world, and the JMSDF is responsible for protecting this large area. As an island nation, dependent on maritime trade for the majority of its resources, including food and raw materials, maritime operations are a very important aspect of Japanese defense policy. The JMSDF is known in particular for its anti-submarine warfare and minesweeping capabilities. Defense planners believe the most effective approach to combating hostile submarines entails mobilizing all available weapons, including surface combatants, submarines, patrol planes, and helicopters. They are also known to operate at least 14 listening stations all over the country that have and marine surveillance radar warning systems. Historically, the Japan Air Self-Defense Force, JASDF, has been relied on to provide air cover at sea, a role that is subordinate to the JASDF's primary mission of air defense of the home islands. Extended patrols over sea lanes are beyond the JASDF's current capabilities. The Japanese fleet's capacity to provide ship-based anti-aircraft warfare protection is limited by the absence of aircraft carriers, though its destroyers and frigates equipped with the Aegis combat system provide a formidable capability in anti-aircraft and anti-missile warfare. These capabilities are force multipliers, allowing force projection of Japan's sizable destroyer and frigate force far from home waters, and acquiring them is contentious considering Japan's passive defense policy. Number 4. French Navy current active inventory, 66 fleet units. Like Britain, the French Navy maintains a modern, multi-role force covering air power, surface combatants, and undersea boats. The aircraft carrier fleet is limited to just one vessel, Charles de Gaulle, but these provide the necessary systems to operate the impressive Rafale fighter. The undersea fleet is comprised of 10 total boats with more to come, breathing life to an aging group. The destroyer force has seen a nice modernization through the Aquitaine class as the Floreal class moves to age out of service. Up to 17 vessels make up the mine warfare fleet, which is considerable considering France's shorelines along European waters. Similarly, the OPV force comprises some 14 vessels, some new, some old but overall capable. The French Navy has a strong future focus on addressing an aging nuclear attack submarine fleet, frigate firepower, and offshore patrol capabilities. In addition to this, there is an initiative to give the service a new, all-modern nuclear-powered aircraft carrier to take over duties of the aging Charles de Gaulle, though this program remains in its infancy. Nevertheless, the service retains an overall positive outlook. Number 3. Russian Navy current active inventory, 265 fleet units. The modern Russian Navy keeps a solid focus on its coastline and underwater activities with a noticeable commitment to corvettes, 31.2%, submarines, 21.8%, and mine/countermine warfare, 18.0%. The rest of the fleet is relatively balanced, covering such types as aircraft carrier, cruiser/battle cruiser, destroyer, frigate, offshore patrol, and amphibious assault support. The aircraft carrier fleet is made up of a sole unit, the aging Kuznetsov, which is inherently limited on the modern battlefield and undergoing refit. Likewise, the sizable submarine fleet, 58 units, leans heavily on units reaching, or well past, their optimal operating ages. The cruiser force is also an aging group with the youngest example entering its 23rd year of service. The destroyer force sees the same problem, units aging closer to 30 years. Conversely, The frigate force, 11 units, has been addressed with new additions. By and large, the corvette fleet makes up the largest part of the Russian surface combatant force, numbering 83 units with more on the way. These, too, are an aging group but buoyed by new arrivals. The Mine Warfare Division is primarily aging Soviet Cold War era instruments, as is the bulk of the Amphibious Assault/Support Force. Nevertheless, some 80 new hulls are to make their way into service in the coming year, forcing a modernization of key parts of the Russian fleet. Number 2. People's Liberation Army Navy, 2022 current active inventory, 417 fleet units. The People's Liberation Army Navy has been growing in strength in leaps and bounds over the past few decades, adopting more advanced surface and undersea vessels as well as critical support ships. Key to its power projection goals in the region is the increasing might of its fixed-wing carrier fleet, currently numbering 2 modest units but soon to be joined by a pair of indigenous designs offering greater capabilities in blue water environments. The submarine fleet comprises over 70 boats from multiple classes, with only a few beginning to age out. The destroyer fleet is relatively young, with some of the oldest units not yet 30 years old. Similarly, the frigate fleet is a young fighting force with a few exceptions and numbers over 40 vessels to date. Like the Russian Navy, the plan puts a decided focus on its corvette strength, with some 70 hulls committed to the category and all of a young, modern design as hull ages go. The 8-strong mine/countermine fleet is an aging group, with the youngest units numbering 27 years of age. Offshore strength hulls are also reaching a critical period in its service lives, the 10 vessels all over 25 years. The Amphibious Assault Force has been given renewed life, with all new modern players covering helicopter and transport operations from ship to shore. These would be key elements in an invasion of neighboring Taiwan. 24 vessels remain on order and strengthen numbers in carrier, submarine, destroyer, and LDH categories. By and large, the plan has done well to improve its naval standing in the world, producing yearly the equivalent of a Royal Navy fleet, with its eyes set squarely on one day supplanting the United States as the preeminent naval power in the world. Number 1. United States Navy current active inventory, 243 fleet units. The United States Navy remains one of the top naval powers in the world, primarily due to its potent and numerically superior nuclear-powered aircraft carrier fleet. While the old Nimitz class begins to age out, these are being replaced on a one-for-one approach by the new Ford-class supercarriers. The bulk of the surface force is made up primarily of the destroyer fleet, amounting to nearly 30% of all strength. The submarine fleet follows a close second, delivering another quarter of total strength for the service. Beyond this is an aging fleet of cruisers, followed by littoral combat ships, essentially filling the category of corvettes, and amphibious assault support ships. The service also invests in a capable OPV and mine/countermine warfare fleet, which rounds out the force rather nicely, giving broad solutions to modern battlefield problems. Hulls on order number over 65 and are set to strengthen the destroyer, submarine, carrier, frigate, and amphibious assault groups in the coming decade, attempting to keep pace with global rival China.